everyone, and welcome back again. If you watched my video yesterday, the sun was out and it was like 55 and it felt really nice. Today we don't have any sun, but it's still 50 degrees, but it doesn't feel as warm just because it's kind of drizzly and there's no sun. But that's not going to stop me. I was planning on starting some seeds today, and I'm going to do that. So this is an update video for the Survival Seeds 2025 collaboration, and I can't start very many yet because I have to keep them in the house and I don't have a lot of room in my little tiny cabin for seeds. But I do have some room on the shelf right next to where my new hydroponics kit is. So I think if I set some of these seeds on the shelf around the hydroponics, the light comes out of there. So I think the seeds outside of the hydroponics will reap a benefit from the grow light, but we'll see what happens. Because I did have some advice like a week or so ago of getting my cabbage started, because I had mentioned cabbage in one of my videos, and cabbage does take a while to get a really good sized head. And where I live in Maine, our grow season is pretty short, and I can't start any seeds out here in my shower house probably for another at least couple weeks. I'm going to watch the weather, because even though we've had these few warmer days, we still could have some really cold nights and some cold days, and I don't want to start a bunch of seeds and then have them die in there. So, because that keeps them away from the frost, but it doesn't keep them away from the cold because I don't have that heated all the time. But before I get to starting some seeds, because I'm only going to start as many as I can fit in the house today, which is going to be some cabbage, and I might start a couple kidney beans and maybe a couple other survival seeds just to see how they do outside of the hydroponics. But I wanted to kind of go over some of the seed starting stuff that I have for when it does get a little warmer, and some stuff that I'm going to use today. So I live kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'm in northern Maine. There's not a lot of places to shop, but luckily they do have this at our local store, and it's just natural and organic seed starting mix. So this is what I usually start with. And then I bought some of these, which are, these are like the tiny ones, a tinier version of these. And that's what I'm going to start with today to start the seeds, because I just have some of these black little trays. I think they're from like the dollar store, and I can fit 6 of these in there. And that way I can put them in here, I can water them in there, and I don't got to worry about water getting on my shelf. So I have those. And then I got these at a surplus store that we have in the area called Martin's. I got them for 15 cents a piece, so I thought that was pretty good. So I bought a bunch of those. And I have a couple of these left over from last year, just some bigger versions of these. And then I found these at the dollar store. They're just like plastic cups for plants, but they do have holes in the bottom already, and you get 12 of them for $1.25. So I didn't think that was that bad, so I just grabbed a bunch to have on hand. And then these are just 2 things I saved from plants I had last year. And then these 2 trays here, or no, 4 trays, sorry. I have 4 big black trays like this that I had last year that came with these all interlinked in there. Some of these I couldn't save from last year. They cracked and broke, but I saved as many as I could, which is this many, for this year, so I can reuse them. So this will be when I set them up for in the shower house. I have a 4-tier bamboo shelf that these sit on, and that's where I keep the plants until they can come outside once I get to plant them. But I'm going to put some of this stuff away that I'm not going to use today, and I'm going to get to planting some of the seeds that I'm going to bring in the house. But before we get to planting, I'm just going to bring you inside real quick to show you how the hydroponics is doing for the 3rd week. Because yesterday was exactly 3 weeks since I started the seeds in the hydroponic kit. So we'll head there and then back out here to do some seeds. So here's what the hydroponic setup looks like after 3 weeks. It was 3 weeks yesterday since I planted the seeds, and look how great everything is doing. This is just so exciting to me. The lettuce is completely taken over. I could probably actually snip some of it off now and use it, but I'm going to let it go at least a few more days and then see what I have. And the tomatoes are doing really well. The kale, the chamomile, even the peppers, and the hyssop. everything in lemon balm's coming up. Everything's doing really good. I do have some questions though. I'll show you a little closer up. All 3 tomato seeds came up, and they all 3 have pretty big stalks coming out of that one pod. So what is everyone's thoughts? Should I try to separate those and take them out and repot them, or just let all 3 grow in there? I moved the top way up so I could show you a little better. I'll move it back down a little closer to the plants later. You're supposed to keep about 4 inches from the light to the tallest plant. But so if you can see this, the lettuce is just going wild. It's even going back there. It's actually overpowering the poor peppers here. I mean, the peppers are doing fine, but the lettuce, I keep having to try to move the leaves to get it so they can get some sun. And there's those. That's the chamomile back here. And the lemon balm is right in there. And that's the kale. And let's see. The onions are back here. They're just kind of covered up. Hold on, let me see if I can get them. They're right there. They're growing. They're still small. But yeah, so everything is doing really great. So just let me know what you think about those tomatoes. Let me see if I can get you a view of their stalks without my hand in the way. I don't know if you can see them in there. All 3 have really nice big stalks. So I'm afraid I might need to separate them, but I don't know what will happen since I've never had a hydroponics before. So I'll take any advice given. And what's your advice on how much I should let the lettuce grow before I start snipping it off? All right, we'll go back outside and get some seeds started. So we're back outside, and so I have one set up with the 6 pods, and I realized I also have 2 lids. So I'm going to try to utilize these too, because I only have 3 of these black ones. And I think I could probably find room for 5 of these on my shelf. And I just also brought out, I have these stakes, little, markers, and they are erasable with a pencil. So I brought these out so I can mark things to kind of remember what I put where. So we'll do that as well. And I just brought out this water bottle because that's how I'm going to water them today. I didn't pull out my watering can yet, and it's just seeds, so I don't want to get them too wet, but I do want the soil moist. So I'm going to use this. So right now I'm just going to finish. I'm going to put 6 more of these in each of these containers, and then we will fill them with dirt. If I can get them apart. There we go. All right, so I got 6 of these in each container, and I'm just going to get the soil opened up. And you know what I realized? I was going to try to dump it in, but I think I'm just going to take each one and just dip it right in the soil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it about most of the way, halfway. Well, I'll put a little more. I'll put about that much, and I'm going to spray it, just give it a little water. And then I'm going to do that in each little pod. Just because this potting seed planting mix is really light and fluffy and dry. So I like to put it in here, wet it a little bit, and then after I put the seed in, I'll put a little more on top and then wet it just a little bit more. And there's probably faster ways to do this, but I'm enjoying my time outside, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'll do a couple more, and then I'll be back after I get them all filled up and dampened. Alright, so I kind of changed the method to my madness while I was doing this because this soil is so dry and fluffy. I decided just to scoop it out and dump it in. And then instead of trying to spray it, because it is so dry, I'm just dumping a little bit in there like that. And then I'm just using one of my stakes to kind of mix it up to get the water all the way down into the dirt, because this stuff, it was a little windy, it was blowing away, it was so light and fluffy. Which is not bad. I just don't want that to be that dry because that's not going to do good for the seed. So I'm just kind of stirring it up and then patting it down and then sprinkling just a little bit more dry on top. Well, minus the stick. All right, so now that I got all 5 of them full of dirt and a little bit of water, I am gonna put this back on because once I put the seed in, I don't want to dump more water in there. I'm probably just going to spray it a little bit just to make sure the seed gets nice and damp. So I'm gonna start with the cabbage. And one funny thing, when I was looking through all my seeds, I didn't get the Roma tomato seeds for the collab, but that is no problem. I can go get some Roma tomato seeds the next time I go in town. But it just cracked me up. Though everyone does such a wonderful job, I'm not worried about it at all. I just thought, I didn't notice it until now, which kind of made me laugh. But these are the cabbages that I grew last year. They worked really well. They're early Jersey Wakefield cabbages. So I'm going to open these, and I'm probably gonna do 2 trays of these because I am a cabbage lover and I want to start quite a bit of cabbage for, hopefully I have enough seeds left. I think I do. Yeah, there's quite a bit in here. It's really windy today, so I got to be careful. But yeah, so these only have to go like a ½ inch deep. So I'll probably do 2 seeds per thing just to make sure they all come up, just because these are last year's seeds. I did vacuum seal them and keep them in a cool, dry place, but you never know. So I'm gonna put those in. I'm gonna do that all the way around. I just use my finger to kind of guess ½ inch. And then I'll put just a little bit of, I'm not quite pushing down the whole ½ inch because I'm gonna put just a little bit more soil on top. But I'm covering them up as soon as I put them in because it is windy and I don't want anything blowing away. And yeah, I do have gloves, but I'm not wearing them. I like getting my hands dirty. It's kind of the fun of gardening. Unless it's a really black soil that makes your hands black and you can't get it off, I like it. I like the smell of the dirt. I like the feel of the dirt. It makes me think of spring, which hopefully is coming sooner than later. It's just part of the fun. All right, I think I have, oh, I almost lost one. They're so tiny, it's easy to lose if you're not careful. I'm gonna have to get a couple more out. I don't have quite enough to finish filling these up. There we go. Now let me try to get a couple more. Maybe 4 more. 4 more seeds here. There we go. Just gonna set something on those so they don't get blown away. And then I'm gonna stick these in here. When I get to the kidney beans, I'll probably only put 1 per pot because they're a bigger seed and I don't want too many to get crowded. All right, so now I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit more on top where I didn't put them quite as deep as it said. All right, so then I'm already made up 2 little cabbage things. So I'm gonna stick 1 in each end here. And then I'm gonna get this spraying. I don't want it spraying too hard. So I'm just gonna moisten the top of each of these. Just where I put the seeds in. And I think there are little fancy seed waterers. This is just a water bottle from Walmart. I try to keep things simple. Simple and easy. And I'll keep an eye on these where I'm just spritzing them when I take them inside, and just make sure they keep damp. So hopefully we'll get germination. All right, so there's the cabbage. All right, so I think I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna make, sorry about that, I had a little bit of a phone camera malfunction there. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna do some of the Detroit Supreme beets and the red kidney beans, because they are part of the Survival Seed collaboration. So I'm gonna put probably 1 tray of each of those. And then in the last little tray, I think we're gonna do 3 of the bell peppers that are from the Survival Seeds. And I'm gonna try 3 hyssop, because there has been some debate in my hydroponics whether what I marked as hyssop is really hyssop. I got it out of here when I was very careful and marked all the cups, but people are saying it's looking a little different. So I'd like to do a little experiment and see if I can get a few of these to start growing in here and see if they look the same as what is in my hydroponics. So let's do the beets first. And the beets have to go down a little deeper, more like an inch, inch and a half. And I'll plant some more of these later too, but I thought let's try to get some started for fun. So I'm gonna make this one pretty, probably like the whole tip of my pinky finger down in there. And then I'll still cover it up a little bit with dirt here. We'll get those in. I'm just gonna do 1 per thing, because I usually have pretty good luck with any type of beans or peas or pumpkin or anything like that. I usually have pretty good luck with them coming up and starting. So I don't want to cram these in here too tight and then have to try to separate them. That's just not what I'm into right now. So there's that. Then we'll just sprinkle a little more on top and get these watered. And I'm making a mess, which is fine. The wind is blowing the dirt, getting dirt all over. But that's good. All right. Spray these down. There we go. And here's my kidney bean tag. I'll stick that one in there, and that one's done. All right, now we're gonna, I've never grown beets, so I'm interested to actually open this up and see what the seeds look like. I've never grown these before. I've grown radishes and stuff. Oh, okay. They kind of look like big tomato seeds, kind of. But these said about a ½ inch, so I think I will try 2 each in here of these, just because I've never done them before. I don't know how much luck I'll have, but we'll see what happens. And if I need to separate them, that'll be fine too. So we'll get those in there. Oh, I dropped one in here, so there we go, I got it. All right. I'm really excited to see how these beets do. I like beets. I love pickled beets. I like just to eat beets regular, but I've never grown them before. I'm not really sure why. I haven't ever tried, but I'm excited to see how these do. All right, there's that. I'm gonna put the rest of those back. I don't want to waste any. And I'm gonna put a little dirt on top and get these watered. There. Yeah, that dirt just flies out. It's crazy. I don't remember last year when I got this if it was this dry, but it is dry. All right, so here's my beets tag. All right, so then we got one more. We're gonna do a little bit of hyssop and a little bit of peppers. The peppers say they only need like 1/4 of an inch, which is not very far at all. So I am not going to put them too deep in this dirt. So I'm gonna do 3 and 3. So we'll do, and I'll probably do 2 pepper seeds in each. I may as well try it. I'm not a huge like pepper eater. I will eat them if they're cooked. I don't care for them raw. So I probably won't grow tons of them, but I can always share anyway to neighbors or whoever. So I'm just gonna barely put these down in this dirt where they don't need very much depth. There we go. And just put a little more dirt on top, just a teeny bit, because I don't want them too deep, but I want to have them a little bit cover. There we go. I'm gonna put my pepper tag in the middle, facing that way, so I'll know these 3 are peppers, and then in this one over here, I'm gonna put some of this hyssop. And then they'll be all done, and I'll get them put in where I'm gonna put them inside near the hydroponics kit, and I'll let you know, see how that is. Now these seeds are so tiny. I'm gonna just wet this just a little bit, because I'm afraid these seeds are gonna blow away, because they're so tiny. I'm just gonna put a few in each thing. Just kind of sprinkle them around a little bit, see what happens. I've never grown this before either until this year, so I'm excited to see what happens with it. All right, that's probably good. I'm gonna save the rest because I'll probably plant some more later when it gets a little closer to spring. And let me put dirt over these. And I know these said they needed light to germinate, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna put them close to that hydroponics and see what happens. See if they come up. All right. So I'm gonna put that way. And there we have it. So I'll bring these inside, and I'll show you guys where they're gonna be at. All right, so I moved some stuff out of the way, and I have all my little seed starts right here next to the hydroponics. I'm hoping, I put the hyssop right here, right next to the light. So I'm hoping, actually I might even move it over just a little bit because that will get it in the light better. I'm hoping that that will help all the plants. But there we have it. Well, I think that is gonna end the video for today. I wish everybody happy growing. And I can't wait to see what happens with everybody else's seeds and plants. It's been so much fun watching. This is a great collaboration. And I'm going to go outside and find Tank, and I'll say my goodbyes. And I'll also mention just a little bit about the collaboration in case anyone wants to join. It's still open to enter. Well, of course, as soon as I came back in the screen house to say my goodbyes with Tank in the video, he decided to leave the screen house and go look at something. I think he saw a bird or something. Oh, you can see him walking behind me now. But anyway, I wanted to say in the closing of this video that the Survival Seeds 2025 collaboration, it's still open and people are still able to join if you would like to. All you have to do is make an entry video and you'll get free seeds to start growing some of your own food. So, or if you just want to watch the videos and learn a little bit more about gardening, they have wonderful speakers that come to the live every week. And everybody that posts videos has a little bit of information that you might never heard before. Like a couple of people, Krista, almost off your grandma, and Angel, on both of their channels, they're talking about yeast fertilizer, which I had never heard of before. So it's just really interesting. You can learn a lot of things, and it's fun, and everybody's super nice and has a good time. So thanks for the 3 channels that are hosting this collaboration, which are VC Family Homestead, Lazy Days Ahead, and Bushcraft Family. And they have other people that are, you know, into it too, and there's prizes every week, and that's just a bonus. But so I will leave all of the information about the collaboration in the description if anyone's interested in joining or checking it out. VC Family Homestead, they have a really cool website. It has playlists, all the videos. It has how you can enter. It has a form, like if you do submit a video, how to let them know. They have some really cool merchandise. I have a cup, a mug, like a coffee mug, Survival Seeds, and I think and I have a hat coming. I haven't got it yet, so you'll see the hat in an upcoming video. But like always, everybody have a great week. Live every day to the fullest. Respect nature. And I'll see you in the next one. And Tank's stretching, so he wants to say goodbye too. Tanky, say bye to everybody. I guess he's yawning. He's tired. Thanks again, guys.